Hi there everyone, it is currently the 15th of July 2012. Round here with today's update. I know the tropics have been relatively quiet the last several weeks now, but it does look like a new disturbance is starting to spin up here just towards the northwest of Guam. This was deemed Invest 91W, but now it has been upgraded to a tropical cyclone formation alert from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Also, it is currently a tropical depression right about in this area from the Japan Meteorological Agency. So both of these agencies looking at some sort of development here. You do have an upper level low starting to spin here just towards the southwest of Guam. This is not where that circulation is. It is right in here where we have that low level center of circulation. And if we take a look at ASCAT imagery currently, you can see that low level circulation just about 200 nautical miles towards the southeast of Iwilto, which is right up in this area. You also have the northern Marianas right here. And you do have some stronger winds towards the northeastern portions of it. This is actually indicating about 30 to 35 knots throughout this entire area. That's mainly gradient induced due to that low pressure here, a high pressure off towards the north. That tight wind gradient right in the middle of there is really what's kicking up those winds. So it's not directly associated with the formation of this tropical depression. Thus, it is still being called a tropical depression, vice a tropical storm, because these are definitely tropical storm force winds right in here. But due to improving conditions, there is a possibility this is going to be becoming a tropical storm within the next several days. Yet at this time, there is a few things that's going to have to overcome. One is this spinning right in here. That's bringing some wind shear from the North Western Periphery, but also the dry air inflow coming in out of the Westpac high and high pressure just off here towards the north. On the other hand, though, a tropical upper tropospheric trough is providing some outflow here towards the east, giving it a little more exhaust aloft, and then on top of that is pulling moisture in from the south. So several factors going into this right now. Although, if we take a look at the COAMPS high resolution model at this time, it does look like it is showing the possibility of this developing. Now, if it does develop, I think that it will remain relatively weak at this time, but there is that threat of it becoming a monsoonal like gyre here as it continues to rush off there towards the northwest. That really means that the center of circulation may have some moisture in it, but a lot of the moisture is going to be spread out around the southeastern portions of it, and then you still have that moisture wrapping around the center. So a very complex system at this time. It still has yet to gain the organization, but at least over the next 48 hours, I do think there is this fairly decent risk of this continuing to deepen and push off there towards the northwest. So the main land threats at this time would be the southeastern portions of Japan, where you do not need any more rainfall at all. Even today, you've been seeing these heavy rainfall. And actually, I want to take you to a picture I put together yesterday here, just showing the total totals across Kyushu, or the total rain totals across Kyushu from about Thursday into Saturday. Some of these totals are just rather staggering. 813 millimeters here in Kumamoto Prefecture, right there in southern Kyushu, or central Kyushu, but also around Fukuoka, you've seen upwards of about 646 millimeters here, and even over towards Shikoku, numbers topping 300 millimeters, all due to this moisture flowing in from the south due to the stationary boundary what was lingering here across much of central Japan. And this graphic right here kind of explains exactly what happened here. You have that boundary moisture coming in, and also remember there's mountainous areas right in here, so once it hits those mountains, it rings out like a sponge, and that's why these staggering rain totals all along that line right in there continue to add up throughout about a 72-hour period. So if a tropical depression does spin up here down towards the southeast, it very well could possibly come up and bring yet more moisture. Not welcomed at all, to say the least. Further flooding and landslides would definitely be very high at risk. Therefore, this storm definitely bears very close watching. And if we take a look at the streamline analysis, you have that high pressure over here towards the east. That's what's causing that increased gradient-induced winds throughout this entire area. You have the low rate in here just towards the southeast of Iwilto. Following that overall background flow, it likely would push off here towards the northwest, eventually hitting towards Japan, likely by about the middle part or the latter part of this coming week. Once again, though, this still is in its early phase. I do want to strongly stress that but it does bear that watching, as it could bring some heavy rainfall with it. But here's the latest look from JMA. They do have that tropical depression just along the western portions of the Marianas Islands as well. Current winds about 30, gusting up to 45 knots. You need about a 34-knot wind to make it become a tropical storm, but current pressure low is about 1,006 HPA. JTWC has a pinged about 1,005 HPA, so both of them right about on the same spot. But speaking of JTWC, let's take a look at their tropical cyclone formation alert, where they ping that center right about in the same area here, moving it off towards the northwest, following that overall background flow, and also what most of the models are kind of hinting at here. So definitely both of the agencies, at least JTWC, JMA, are both warning on this, and they both kind of have the initiation of this system going in the general same direction. Elsewhere, though, I want to talk about the Philippines. You also have a low-pressure area here, or kind of a troughing area, more or less, that's still bringing some heavy rainfall across Palawan and the eastern portions of the Philippines, or excuse me, the western portions, especially as this moisture pushes onshore. You could be seeing some rain totals add up to about 100 to 150 millimeters throughout the next 24 hours, adding to some flooding situations there. At least Manila, though, I don't think anything significant outside of strong afternoon thunderstorms might pop up there. You should remain relatively dry, at least going throughout the remainder of your weekend into about the early part of this coming week. But also want to talk about Japan. The stationary boundary still lingering here. Across southern portions of Kyushu, you're still seeing some rain totals add up. Good news, boundary is lifting slowly off towards the north. You might see a stray thunderstorm or two across the northern portions of Kyushu, but mainly the Tohoku region is what's going to be impacted throughout the remainder of your Sunday here. Once again, though, a few stray showers could be coming across, but definitely very welcomed as far as the dry weather due to the recovery efforts still currently occurring out here after we have seen upwards of about 20 reports of deaths out here, and still many more people are still missing. That is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, please post them in the comment box below. Also, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Robert Spedo, or follow us at Westpac Weather, plus many other articles currently being posted at the website. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go to the website at westernpacificweather.com, and you can check some of those out, including not only the weather here, but also an aurora borealis outlook throughout the next several days due to a very strong solar flare that is currently impacting the Earth, a CME that is, and you might actually see some northern lights as far south as the northern portions of Russia, and going into the 14th and in the 15th, I expect this line to continue to push towards the south, and maybe even some portions of extreme northern Japan might see some of these aurora borealis. But if you're watching this in the Americas, though, you might see some as far as the northern portions of the United States, definitely most of Canada, and even over towards the Scandinavian peninsula in Europe. So definitely very interesting news as far as that. So stay safe out there, everybody. I know this is a long update, so once again, have a great day.